I want to say thank you for being here and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, which means peace be with you. In Arabic, we say Assalamu alaikum to bring light within the setting that you're in. So I bring light with you and to be with you. So Assalamu alaikum. Before I came here, I thought about everything that I've seen for the past few days, and as someone who writes all the time, the word ghurba came to me. The word ghurba in Arabic means the diaspora, but it also means when someone doesn't know themselves anymore because they've been stateless for a long time. Ghurba, the smell of the refugee camp, a faraway home, sit on my shoulders today. But I also bring stories of time while sitting in the olive tree here today. I bring the pictures of my grandmother and the smell of my kufiya. Today I'm going to tell you and share with you the face of Palestine with you. I'm going to read the story with you because I want to remind you of the children of Palestine. Everyone got one? I was breastfed raw. While pregnant, my mother witnessed a full-scale invasion of her city. She watched as houses in the village were demolished and soldiers entered homes without warning or permission. I was born during the first intifada in Palestine, and it seethed in the background as I took in my first breath. As I opened my eyes to the world, my mother's tears reflected the clouds of tear gas filling the air outside the windows as the call to prayer struggled to break through the roaring of the tanks that filled the streets. A few months earlier, soldiers raided my family's home in the middle of the night. They shattered family pictures hanging on the wall. They broke the radio. They went into the kitchen and destroyed my grandmother's china plates. They took my mother's stove, dress, out of the closet and stepped on it until it tripped. The soldiers' barks and growls reached me before I was born. As my mother balanced her fears for our lives with her hopes for my future, my life flickered in her womb like a candle in the storm. My mother did all she could to take care of me before I was born. But the intifada was imprinted on my body like a summer storm, scars and open field. My mother's pain and memories of war infused the tissue of my developing heart, becoming enmeshed in my soul like a prisoner trapped in a cell. She says that when our city was invaded and the intifada took over the streets, her body could no longer contain her hopes and fears and me. She said she could feel the strain of war flowing through her veins as she envisioned the flames of wildfire materializing from the lines in the palms of her hands. I was born prematurely. As a young boy, I watched school children chanting to end the occupation as they marched through swarm after swarm of stinging rubber bullets. I listened as my mother cried and agonized about passing on the anxiety and pain of the intifada. I felt her heart beat against my back as she laid next to me when I slept while she softly fretted over whether she had lost her humanity. I realize now that as I grew, so did the grip of the barbed wire on what should have been my child.
Home. This is all the names. My life has been spent surviving the colossal names of the Western world. While I survive in this maze, I see familiar landscapes that call to me, connected to me like a spiritual umbilical cord. Fading in and out of the path of the maze, I hear a calling, a song, beckoning me to follow it. I try to follow, but the maze is constantly changing, along with my own visions of what's directly in front of me. At times, my own reflection changes. I feel the hands of shadows on my body reaching inside to grab at my spirit. Those familiar landscapes and songs come to bandage the injuries left by the shadows. And for a moment, I can see my own reflection again. I still survive in this maze, and I've lived long enough to realize that this place, this maze, is made from the shattered pieces of my home. This is my home.
The next piece for me, I wrote a poem about millions of Palestinians who don't have a home. They exist in this phenomenon of statelessness, of no home. And I know many of them. I am their voice today. I am the shadow of that tall pine and the reflection of the harvest season. I am them. Home is no home. Home is the phenomenon of no home. The barbed wire grows in my chest. The cactus blossoms in my backpack. When an olive tree is uprooted, stories are choked. My kite refuses to lie about the saffron and the tall pine. Home is a rusty key of a home far away, hanging from my grandmother's neck. A tattoo saying, "We will return," scattered on my grandfather's arm. Home is a wild thyme sprouting out of my sleeve as I sit on an airplane without a UN refugee visa. Home is no home. The almond tree is the beginning of my story. So how do I search for the goldfinch in the snow? Home is when Tata carried me on her shoulder to our land. Home is the stagnant air in my heart, examining the tear gas on the morning of Eid. The clear skies of my childhood rush out of my body in a hurry, like songs recited in a henna party. Threads of my mother's stove hang onto the sage like a scared prayer. In Canada, my mother sings for rainfall, so fields of wheat in Jerusalem can grow.
This next song is called the Eagle Song. It's a healing song. This song was taught to me in ceremony by my late grandfather, Les Chancapel. This song came to our community when our people needed help. This song is called the Eagle Song, and it's also known as the Healing Song. I share this song with you in hopes that you find healing and strength that you need to carry on your journey from where you stand. I'd also like to say thank you to that young one who was with us today in that school. We've talked a lot about healing, and it's with those little ones who are coming who will bring that healing.